Hello and welcome to The Rest is Football with Alan Shearer, Micah Richards and me, Gary Lineker. The Champions League knockout stages of well and truly underway. And, we saw some cracking games over the last 2 nights and a couple of crazy games as well. Alan, you did PSV against Arsenal on Tuesday. Yeah. Micah, you were with CBS. And I have to start, Micah, by asking you, what on earth was going on? I saw some clips in the studio of all sorts of strange antics. What? Explain, please.
IshowSpeed! Enter!
Let's go! Let's go! Come on! Let's go!
So, it started about 10 days ago. Thierry Henry went to go play a charity match with all the YouTubers and streamers. And one of the big streamers is called IshowSpeed. That's what his name is.
I met him briefly at the Ballon d'Or, I think.
Yes!
A couple of years ago.
Was he barking? Can I ask you about the barking? Why did he bark?
He was sat next to my boys and he was doing some really, really strange noises, yes.
Where's this going, by the way?
Exactly, Alan, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, so basically he DM'd me about 2 weeks ago and said, I'd love to come on you guys' show to meet the guys. So on Tuesday, he came to the show, but we set it up and everything, like the security turned him away. So on Wednesday...
was that security a gimmick, was it?
It was a gimmick. Of course it was, to get people talking.
I just saw that. That was one of the many bits I've seen. I need to explain it.
That was a gimmick. That bit was set up.
This dude's got a big following, hasn't he?
We're talking massive following.
Yeah, huge.
Like all the kids, even adults. So our security, like, we come past, you got Thierry Henry, you got all Premier League players. Alan, you know where it is, Stockley Park, PLP.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have they ever asked you for a photo? This guy was like Denzel Washington coming through the door. It was madness, absolute madness.
So he
anyway,
DM'd you, did he? Just you, and you sorted it out for him?
He DM'd me. Of course, you know what? Let me get the DM since you don't believe me. Al, you know.
No, I believe you. I just know, I'm just wondering, would you get anyone on the show that DMs or just because of the big hitters, is it?
Only ones that bark at him, Alan.
1 minute, let me get him up. IshowSpeed. There we go. So he messaged me 18th of Feb.
Well, you read it, Micah. We can't see it.
You can't see it?
Read
he basically
We'll
just said, yo, bro, how do I get in contact with someone to get on the show? So I sorted it out from weeks ago.
He's a poet as well. Yo, bro, how do I get on the show? Don't you know?
So Wednesday...
Can they pay me some dough?
The other thing, he's a massive Ronaldo fan. So he thinks Ronaldo's the best. He's met him one time and he's a bit of a, I won't say actor, but he plays up to it and everybody loves him. So the gag was him and Jamie have a little bit of to and fro. Jamie Carragher. On your marks. Get set, go!
Yes! His elbow, dog. I need a camera angle. His elbow is coming up.
See you next week.
No, his elbow is coming up. His elbow's coming up.
What a match day this was.
Because Jamie loves Messi and he loves Ronaldo. So we just have the segment and all that sort of stuff. And then one of the producers thought it'd be very clever for them to have a race. So we've come to work. You be at PLP, Al. You know, in the hallway. So say like you come in and we turn left to the green room. Yeah. There's that long corridor.
Yeah.
So one of the producers said, how about the race? And we was like, how are they going to race?
He's fast though, isn't he? Didn't he run Noah?
Yeah, he raced Noah Lyles as well. Noah Lyles obviously beat him.
Well, yeah, but he's the Olympic champion.
Yeah. But Jamie said, no problem. I'll have a race with him. So anyway, it happens often. We go into the corridor and they're having some back and forth, some shit talking, some banter, this, that, and the other.
This is a wind up.
Oh my God.
Do you know how fast I am?
You said what?
Do you know how fast I am?
Hey, Jamie, you're not beating me. I don't know why you putting on your running shoes. You putting all this gear on just to lose, man.
And the full-on sprinting through the corridor at Stockley Park. I could not believe.
I presume he
what
beat
scene.
Carragher. He's getting 8. He's bloody old now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's not bad though.
He wasn't quick when he played.
Was it in the thin corridor? That's where the studios are, so you cannot use your elbows and get past it or whatever? No.
Well, he
Or
was
it-
trying to elbow him and everything out the
God.
way. IShowSpeed split his pants. So we go back to the studio now. And he's really athletic. So he jumps over Lamborghinis and all sorts of that thing. But his main thing is doing a backflip. So at the end of the show, they had a little arm wrestle, but that was just for a bit of fun. But at the end of the show, he gets onto the desk at CBS and he backflips.
Ronaldo, baby.
And I'm thinking, live on CBS, this is live, this is not pre-record. If he breaks his neck, there must have been some nervous people watching that. But honestly,
Can I ask a serious question?
yeah.
Does CBS do this kind of stunt stuff because they think the American audience is not up for serious football commentary and chat?
Why
and
do you think they
punditry?
hire Micah?
Touche. No, it's actually, if you look at what CBS have created over the last 4, 5, 6 years since they've been doing the Champions League, they've absolutely nailed it with the crew that they get. So you bring in someone like Kate Abdo, who's an unbelievable presenter, speaks 5 languages. We had Roberto Martinez, who's like the father figure, really tactical. He's a manager. He left. We had Alex Scott to start with as well. You've got Peter Schmeichel does the reporting from pitch side. And then you just got the chemistry of me, Jamie, and Thierry in the studio. So because we don't have the rights to show the tactical things in this country, we do all the tactical stuff before and it goes out in America and we do some really good tactical things.
Yeah.
But how do you get an audience to engage? People like to see the fun stuff that we do, so they've just hammered social media.
Yeah, it's good to clarify that though, because I think there will be a view here that this is it's all nuts. Everything that they do is just silly. But in essence, it's just the clips, just to get people
Just
on
the
social
clips,
media.
yes, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just the clips to get people talking about us. But the actual show the other day was absolutely bonkers. You need to look at the clips, Al. Go on your Instagram and look at the
It
clips.
is funny.
It's madness.
Yeah, it is madness. Shall we talk about some football?
Shall we?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's talk about some football. We've got to start with it. I mean, I didn't see Tuesday night's game. I've checked all the highlights subsequently because I was hosting a charity event in the city, which was great. But I watched last night's game, Liverpool game. I mean, how on earth did they manage to get the victory?
Yeah, even Arne Slot said they were very lucky. I mean, possession, chances. I know that doesn't win you games, but Liverpool got battered. The performance of Alisson in goal, wow, nuts. I've seen a goalkeeping performance like that for a long, long time. He was absolutely outstanding. I mean, some of the saves he was making. And I think they got lucky because I do think Canate was a foul, therefore it would have been a red card. And they got away with that one. But they ended up winning the game. Gee, unbelievable. Incredible how they won the game. But we said it. I texted it straight away, didn't we? After 25 minutes? We said Liverpool are going to have one chance and they're going to win this game. And it was crazy how they won it.
We all said the same thing. We thought if they can hang on till half time somehow, they'll probably end up winning the thing. I mean, the statistics at one point, just before they scored, were astonishing. But it just shows you, that's football though. Football's that sport, isn't it? That you can be outplayed and right across the board, but in the end, you can still win a football match. As you say, Alisson's performance. It made me think actually just before we came on about great goalkeeping performances we've seen over the years, and it's got to rank right up there. I remember De Gea pulling off a load of saves in the game against Arsenal. And the other one I thought of was actually Champions League final a few years ago in Paris. Courtois for Real Madrid against Liverpool when he made 3 or 4 incredible saves to keep Real Madrid in the game. But it was his night, wasn't it? Even that one with that low ball across for, I think it was Dembele, and there's someone coming in, and even he scoop away with his hand, sent it outside the box. Extraordinary.
The strong hand.
Every great team needs a great goalkeeper.
Yeah, very true.
And he is one, without doubt.
Is he the best in the world at the moment? I mean, I know we always have these debates, and Courtois is still around, and there's lots of Neuer.
Yeah, I'd say between him and Alisson. Courtois and Alisson. Courtois has done it for year after year. And so was Alisson, really.
Yeah. Black's a great goalkeeper as well. Sometimes gets overlooked.
Black. yes, he's a very good goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Yes, he's very good.
Do you think it was a red card, boys?
I think it was probably. I think it's one of those that if the referee had have given it, he'd have definitely stuck with the decision on the pitch. I suspect they're sitting there thinking, well, it's a foul, but is it enough of a foul? I thought it was enough of a foul. I think we all did. But it brings me back to that point. This will never, ever be sorted out under this thing about whether the bar's low or the bar's high, because in the end, it comes down to an opinion. Now, if you've got an appeal system where you just get, they would absolutely 100% have appealed that. And then it goes to VAR and the referee if you want, and they decide whether it's a foul, not whether it's enough of a foul. I know I'm like a broken record on this, but at the moment, because they're always in the game, they're looking at it and then they're going, oh, is it enough? Is it enough? What does that even mean? Is it enough of a foul? It should be, it's either a foul or it's not, and it was a foul, therefore he should have got a red card. But you can see why they didn't give a red card, because they're thinking, well, it's not a terrible foul. Maybe we'll stick with the referee's decision.
But the rules are what? Denial of a goal scoring opportunity.
Which he did.
That is the terminology that gets passed to us in every call we have with the referee. So yeah, I totally agree with you, Al. They got lucky. It was a red card. Everyone was saying it was a penalty, but the contact was outside the box, wasn't
just
it?
outside,
So it wasn't a penalty, but he's very lucky not to get a red card.
I just think from a forward's point of view, why would you actually go down there? Because he's done really well getting his body there. So why would you go down? He's through. He's going to have an attempt at goal. He's got a great opportunity, a great chance. Why would you go down unless you were pushed down? But you know what it is? Whoever wins the tournament this year will say, you know what, we've had a little bit of luck there, and maybe that was Liverpool's night last night.
You need it. You need it to win these things. You need games that things go for you, and your goalkeeper to perform miracles at some point. I mean, his substitutions, anything he does at the moment seems to work, doesn't it? I mean, Liverpool was so poor in that game. I've never seen them play as badly. Well, certainly not this season, not even close to it, but for a long time. I mean, they couldn't keep the ball. They ended up just lumping it, giving it back. PSG were brilliant, by the way, except for their finishing. Yeah. Liverpool couldn't keep it. The pressing was incredible. The energy levels were remarkable. He's a bloody good coach, Luis Enrique, to bring, because if you compare player per player, you wouldn't say that they were as strong as perhaps even they've been in recent years. But as a team, wow.
I think there's the balance of the team of PSG. We've talked about them for a while when they had Messi and Mbappe and whoever there might be, a top player, but it's how they was going to adapt. But I thought Barcola was excellent. They spent big money on Kvaratskhelia coming in from Napoli.
He was superb, wasn't he?
Wow. That was the Kvaratskhelia of old at Napoli when they won a league over there. And even subs to bring on Doué, Dembele.
I've heard good things about Doué, by the way, that he's I've got a friend who's involved in Stade Rennes. He was telling me this kid's a bit special. They signed him from there recently.
Yeah, he's got his quality. But I think Nuno Mendes left back for PSG. Nuno Mendes. I think he's
Mendes as we know him as.
All right, okay. So why do you call Thierry Henry. Why do you call him Henry? His name's Henry, isn't it?
Terry Henry.
Terry Henry.
Terry Henry.
He can be called what he wants. He was that good. Yeah, he played well, by the way, didn't he, against Salah?
He's just amazing. Anyway, he had a really good game, but I think he's the best left back in world football. That's how he can defend. He can go forward. Like he's good on the ball. He knows when to push up, when to drop. He's got everything. I love him.
Krabach-Kelly is a player, isn't he? I mean, he's so talented. He goes past people, doesn't he? And he was popping up everywhere, all over the pitch. He had a couple of fantastic efforts at goal, brilliantly saved by Alisson as well.
I thought they were brilliant all over the pitch, other than the most important thing, putting it in the back of the net.
Yeah.
They were great getting up to that final position, but if you can't score, then...
Yeah. I mean, they'll be thinking to themselves, right, we outplayed Liverpool. We can do that again, but I assure you, at Anfield, it will be an entire. I've played away games in European competitions. I remember playing for Spurs once at Porto, and we got a 3-1 lead, and we went there, and it was a very similar game to last night. We never got out the final third of the pitch, and they kept the ball, and technically they were, the Portuguese, they were done. We never got a kick at all, but somehow they couldn't finish, and it ended up as 0-0. And you think to yourself in those games that, crikey, they're so good. But then when you're at home, you dominate.
Yeah. But it's very, very different at Anfield on European nights. The atmosphere on European nights is different animal at Anfield. I mean, luckily I'll be there. I'll be doing that game next Tuesday night, so I can't wait already. It'll be a fantastic occasion because the atmosphere that Liverpool fans generate on a European night is amazing.
Liverpool will be obviously very strong favourites now, but not quite as strong a favourites to go through to the quarter-final as Arsenal. I mean, who saw that coming? I mean, you were there, Alan. What was it like?
It was crazy. I mean, the PSV missed an absolute sitter to go 1-0 up. They hit the bar. And then a minute later, Arsenal go down the other end and score, and then they score again. And then you talk about fortunate, that Arsenal were fortunate. They were 2-0 up, and Lewis Skelly should have been sent off for a second yellow card. He made a really rash challenge, and Arsenal and him were really fortunate. And Mikel Arteta took him off 3 or 4 minutes later. They had to take him off after 25 minutes or so, something like that.
That would have been his third, of course. So
that as soon as Mikel, he knew that one more tackle and he was going to be off. But they got a bit fortunate there. But my goodness, after that, it was like I can't remember a game that I thought, this is like Arsenal were playing like an under-15 side or something like that, because they were so open, PSV. Every time Arsenal got the ball, it was like, just come through the middle of us if you want. I mean, Odegaard must be thinking on that night, this is so easy. But we spent 2 or 3 minutes before the game talking about Arsenal again and how they needed a forward and what have you, and they go and score 7 goals.
What do you know?
It's madness. It's madness, isn't it?
They did have a few injuries, though, PSV, didn't they? I mean, maybe it wouldn't have made any difference, but a couple of the American boys, obviously because we do CBS, we keep an eye on them. Tillman was out, wasn't he? Ricardo Pepe was out, and Dest was out. Not that they would have made a huge difference, but they do make the team better.
They've been on a poor run, though, in the league. They were top of their league, weren't they, Christmas time, and 6-7 points, but they've been pegged back and they're in second now, so they are on a poor run. But they were terrible against Arsenal. They were awful.
Good for 1 or 2 of the Arsenal players, though. They probably need that because it's been tough for them the last few weeks. And Odegaard coming back to form, you mentioned him there. You said it was easy for him, but it will do his confidence a lot of good because he's not quite been the Odegaard that we've seen so consistently over the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, that will do him the world of good. But as I said, he did have the freedom of Eindhoven. It was just incredible how much space they gave him. And he'll take a lot from that, as will youngster 1 year. My goodness, what a performance again. 17 years of age, he was absolutely outstanding.
Well, you'd like to see that. We've got Man United at the weekend.
Yeah.
And obviously, and that's away, isn't it? I think with Arsenal now, they need to go and... We talk about them in the Premier League. they find it difficult to create many chances. Of course, we've talked about the injuries to, Havertz and Saka. But surely that's got to give him confidence going into the weekend.
Yeah, you would think so.
Can we ask about his name? Because everyone's saying Nwaneri, like as though it was like Claudio Ranieri, but it's got to be Nwaneri, hasn't it? Not Nwaneri. I don't know. I just think he's going to be that good a player. We need to sort out his bloody name, one way or the other. I keep hearing Nwaneri, but the way it's spelled? It's spelled Nwaneri, sorry. So I suspect it's Nwaneri, not Nwaneri. I know this is not the most important thing we'll discuss on podcast, but I think this kid's going to be a star. So I think we need to sort his name out one way.
Nwaneri.
That's got to be it, isn't it? Nwaneri.
Nwaneri, yeah?
Yeah, Nwaneri. Beautiful. And if I'm wrong, Mr. Nwaneri, my apologies. But yeah. On that note, let's take a break and let's try and find out how you do actually say his name in that break, and then we'll let you know. Welcome back to The Rest is Football with Alan Shearer, Micah Richards and me, Gary Lineker. We've found one of those little things that you get online nowadays that tells you how a certain person's name is pronounced properly.
Ethan Nwaneri.
Ethan Nwaneri. There you go.
Nwaneri.
We've got it. Nwaneri. So it's not a silent N, by the sounds of it. It's just a soft N. Nwaneri. There we go.
In about 4 or 5 years, it'll be legend.
It could be, couldn't it? It really could be. Yeah. Let's talk Aston Villa. It's been a really brilliant week for the English clubs, hasn't it? Because, Liverpool somehow managed to get that result. Arsenal smashed PSV. And Villa have taken control of their game by winning 3-1 away in Bruges. Well, they're in such good shape to go through to the quarterfinals.
They'd play each other if they got through, wouldn't they? Liverpool and Villa, quarterfinals. What a quarterfinal that'll be.
Ooh,
my word.
Wouldn't it?
It'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Bruges are decent. I mentioned to the lads before, Hans Van Aken in midfield.
Yeah, he played well, actually. I saw the highlights of that game. I didn't see the whole game. I saw quite a bit of it because before the event that I did, which was for Action for Children, let's give the little charity a mention. Raised a lot of money on the night. We were watching the game in the green room on producer Harry's phone. So, but what a result for them.
It was a really good result. And did you see the clearance from Tyrone Mings?
Yeah.
That's one of the best clearances I've seen.
It's one of the best clearances I've ever seen.
Yeah.
To get your leg up there with all the knee problems he's had, the way he moved and shaped it round, it was Van Aken's header as well. It was going in, and I was thinking, how on God's earth has he done that? Because any slight touch the other way, he's scoring an own goal, isn't he?
You never got your leg over like that, did you, Mike?
You know what? I was thinking he's smiling. He's got some up his sleeve here.
Hope your sleeve's fine. It's just
was it anyway?
It's
is it Bruges?
You want to worry about? Sorry.
Is it Bruges or is it Brugge?
Brugge.
It's probably
depends. It depends.
We're probably nowhere near it with either, to be honest. But we've always called them Bruges in this country, haven't we?
Yeah,
but it's become Brugge. I don't know. Yeah. That's another one. We'll have to get our mate on there to tell us how to pronounce it properly. But
just can we have some praise? I don't know we have before for Emery. The job he's done at Aston Villa. It's been remarkable how he's managed to get everyone to buy into what he's got the credibility from, Villarreal and Sevilla and so on and so on. It didn't work for him at Arsenal, and there was question marks him going to Villa. He's got him in the Champions League, playing well, fighting for the top 4. I just think the job that he's doing,
brilliant.
Yeah,
it's been because the likes of Nottingham Forest have been doing so well, and Bournemouth have been doing so well. Liverpool running away at the top of the league. Arsenal, the situation, how they fell off, that's been the talk, but no one's really talking about what he's doing at Aston Villa. It's unbelievable.
His track record everywhere except for probably Arsenal, where they didn't give him that long. I think his track record really is so good in Europe. I mean, he's won that, the Europa League and things like that. He's very, very good in Europe.
Yes.
His record is up there with the very best in European football. So you would think that, he's getting the best out. He knows how to win in these competitions. So, I mean, the Champions League's a different kettle of fish. I mean, it's massive. And at some point, you suspect they'll come up against, maybe Liverpool. But if Liverpool dip in form, if they play like they did last night, which I can't imagine that'll happen again. But it will be interesting. It's a tough side, the draw, that one, isn't it?
Yeah. Because Arsenal, Arsenal are going through, so they're either playing Atletico or Real in the quarters, aren't they? So it's a tough side of the draw, yeah.
Yeah, it is. But you're absolutely right about him, Emery.
Brilliant, great job he's doing. Fabulous.
Yeah, let's discuss one or two of the other games. I mean, Barcelona, great win for them away at Benfica, which you'd have thought they'd be favourites, but at the same time, getting Kabasi sent off relatively early in the game. He was the last man as well, actually. Similar.
Please tell me you saw that defending for the sending off.
I saw it.
Barcelona, we've talked about the high line.
That's how they play.
Yes, it was high, but they went even higher. They went even higher. Normally, okay, you've got a high line and you think, okay, no pressure on the ball, let's drop off here. They actually went, there was no pressure on the ball, and they went higher. I was staggered by what I was seeing.
No, it's nuts the way he plays. It's nuts, but they also score an incredible amount of goals. They've scored so many goals. I think it's almost like, we just back ourselves to outscore you. But it's like, you just look at it, you go, this goes against everything that you've ever been told or taught. I mean, if I were playing against Barcelona's backline, I'd be like rubbing my hands thinking, you just spin them all day. In fact, you don't even need to spin them. You just run back with them and then just give it a little turn and go. I mean, I know they get a lot of offsides, but it's so dangerous. So
that was an amazing result, by the way.
Oh, great
to be playing that long with 10 men and to go there and win was an unbelievable result.
What about Rafinha's season?
Yeah.
What about that? 25th goal of the season. 9th in the Champions League. He's been superb.
Stunning. Yeah.
Absolutely
fantastic.
Flying. How do you say his name, Gaz?
I have no idea about Portuguese, but Rafinha. Is it? Rafinha.
Unbelievable. He's so good. And when I was giving him the big build-up at Leeds and everyone was saying, he's not that great, he just biased because you're from Leeds, I said, I'm telling you, this player here, he's got something special about him. I didn't think he would do this well. But I thought he was good enough to play for a top 4 team and a Champions League team somewhere else, if not that being in England.
If you remember, they actually played Benfica in the group stage as well in that bonkers game that was 5-4, which is that's the kind of stuff you're going to get from Barcelona. Great to watch. Rafinha was the hero of that game as well.
He's just something else. I think he's improved so much, and not just with his skills and technique, with his leadership as well. He leads that team really well, and he steps up in big moments. It's his goal, just the way he anticipated it, and then a lot of people would have fluffed the lines there, but it was a really good finish in the corner, wasn't it?
It was. Talking of really good finishers, Harry Kane's banging them in. What a header that first goal, Alan.
Well, the cross and the header were just outstanding. The cross was brilliant. Yeah, it was one of those where you just had to go and attack it, and Harry did. And it was a brilliant goal. The way he sort of guided it in and timed it to perfection. Yeah, great header, and that was a big win for them, because I didn't expect them to score as many as they did, because we said, didn't we, we're Bayern Munich, and we watched Leverkusen and how sort of tight they are and the results they've had against Munich, but. That was a big win again.
I saw Harry's quote after the game. We're here to send a message, not just to everyone, but to ourselves. And, well, Harry's certainly leading from the front. His 9-goal haul is already the most by any English player in a single Champions League campaign. He's now scored more goals across all competitions than any other player in Europe's top 5 leagues since he joined Bayern. 75 goals. That's not bad. He's not even 2 seasons in.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
He's got a while left yet, hasn't he? That's why we need to keep him in Germany.
Yeah. Yeah, where they don't overplay, you know. Or you don't want to see your record be broken.
Correct,
Well,
we don't need him back.
Yeah. I thought you were thinking of your country there, but you're actually thinking of yourself.
But Leverkusen weren't great. I mean, the
I
goalkeeper.
was disappointed with them.
The goalkeeper made a howler. They got
Indeed,
a red.
no.
Mukiele got a red card.
Yeah.
They had a chance as well that they should have scored. Everything that could have went wrong on the night did, and it's a tough one now, isn't it? It's a tough one. I know they're at home. It's
the first time they've lost to Bayern since Xabi Alonso took charge as well.
That's why I didn't expect that at all.
I
last
didn't
night.
either.
I mean, wouldn't have surprised me if they'd have won 1, but not by 3.
In fact, a lot of the games you'd think of, strong favourites going to the second leg. Probably not, though, the Real Madrid Atletico, which Madrid do have a slight lead, but it's 2-1. And what a goal from Alvarez.
It was what it
Oh, it was a beauty, wasn't it? Cut in, bent it right in that
night.
far corner. Fantastic goal. Was that? There were a lot of good goals actually this week. Was that the best? I think that was probably the best one. I don't know.
Rodrigo's was not bad.
Adeyemi's for Dortmund. Did you see that?
Oh, the left foot. The
that
left
was
foot. And now that is a proper half volley.
That was a half volley, correct, Micah?
Correct.
Well, I know we know we're correct because it was just bounced off the floor and on the way up. Half volley.
That is a half volley. Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah, that's it. Let's not go
we're in
further. I
agreement.
can't do this again.
We're in
Let's
agreement.
stop there. While we're agreeing, let's stop. Who wins that second? Who's going through? Tight. I mean,
Tight,
Real Madrid with a goal lead going into any game, you back them, wouldn't you?
By the way, Diaz, the goal. Diaz scored it, wasn't it?
Brahim Diaz.
Yeah.
Brahim Diaz, his goal, the way he jinked and got
that was
through
a
as
good
well.
goal too,
That was a
yeah.
good goal. Yeah.
Rodrigo's was pretty tasty as well. In fact, all 3 of the goals were fantastic in that game. That's the second leg I want to watch.
Yeah. Be a great game.
Yeah. What are you doing for the second leg, Al? Do you know yet?
We're doing Liverpool, Paris Saint-Germain.
Oh, right, yeah.
Can't wait.
Better for you probably if it was 1-0 Paris Saint-Germain, just in terms of a broadcasting sense, because you know what it's like at Anfield. You go there with a lead but it's a bit different when they go there winning.
Yeah, but
that PSG are good. They're good.
Yeah, there's so many things that could happen in that game because there's so many big hitters of players, isn't there? So it'll be a great game.
Before we bid you farewell, I just want to talk a couple of things in terms of FIFA. We're going to get... I don't like this, I have to say before we start, a World Cup half-time show. I hope it's not going completely down the road of NFL half-time shows, because that's 25 minutes, half an hour. And I'm not sure we could quite cope with that. It'll be a bit, I mean, I'm bowing out soon anyway, but I've got one World Cup left in me. But it'll be interesting to see if they do have like some big, massive World Cup half-time show, how telly deals with that. Because that's, that analysis part of the game, particularly at that time, has always been part of television coverage. Does television coverage suddenly go, no, we're going to show the half-time show? Maybe they'll, someone like BBC might stick that on, I would say stick the show on the red button, or they might stick the analysis on the red button.
The show will be a damn sight better than Micah's fucking analysis, so we're better off watching the show.
And the thing is with the NFL, they do all their analysis during the game, So it's not really an issue for them at half time. So it's a different thing.
But if we were, and it does go ahead to get the halftime, who would you go with? Who would you want to see? Come on, guys.
Bruce Springsteen. Come on.
Who's that?
Who's that?
Who's that? Al?
You didn't just say who's that.
He's
How dare you?
Give us a bit. Go on. Who's that?
You don't. You're jessing me.
No,
The
let me
boss,
see.
man. The
What's
boss.
his name?
Come on.
Are you serious here, Mike?
He's serious.
Bruce
Bruce
who?
Springsteen. Please tell me you know who the boss is.
Joking.
What's his biggest
Born in
song?
the USA.
USA. Come on.
Oh yes,
Yes.
Unbelievable scenes here.
I didn't know.
I mean,
I know the tune, but I didn't know the artist.
Bruce Springsteen. Come on.
Yes.
Get Bruce on. Who else? Yeah, I don't know. Elton John.
Elton John.
we stick with the oldies, me and Al. Who did the NFL show? That
It was Kendrick Lamar.
wasn't it? Yeah. See, I've heard of Hendrick Lamar.
Hendrick.
What about Ken?
Hendrick plays up front for Real Madrid, doesn't he? Same guy, is it? It's not as bad as Bruce Springsteen.
I would go with
No, go on.
Tracy Chapman.
Tracy Chapman. I remember her hits.
Mousy, you remember Fast Car?
Yeah.
You got a fast car.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fast enough we can. Was it Fly Away?
Chris Martin from Coldplay's deciding, isn't he? Or he's going to try and recruit. Is that right?
Apparently. That's what I read.
Yeah.
Really?
It's not something I'm overcome with excitement about, I have to say. But
Takes a lot to get you to overcome
it does
excitement
these
nowadays,
days.
Gary. Yeah.
That's so true, Alan. So true. But the football still will. The football still will. The halftime interval, I'm not so sure. The other thing, just before we go, this World Club Championship, which is taking place in the summer, I'm not sure people are aware of the fact that it goes on for a month. And FIFA have said there's going to be like $1 billion in prize money. So, I think Chelsea and Manchester City from this country are in it, Real Madrid are in it, a lot of big teams from around the world. It's going to be played basically like a World Cup is. Be interesting to see if it catches fire. I'm sure we'll cover it on the rest is football. It's nice to have something to talk about during the summer. Otherwise, we might be in a bit of trouble. But
I'll be calling in from Barbados during the summer. So
nice. I might come with you if you let me.
It'll be really interesting to see how the clubs get through it, actually, City and Chelsea, because that means till they're going to be playing till end of July, is it?
I think it's mid-June to mid-July, roughly. And but big prize money, though. They're going to take it seriously for that. That's the sort of money you win if you win the Champions League. I think they're talking about around 100 million for the winner or something. So football's playing all year round now, that's for sure. Okay, let's call it a day there. Goodbye from me.
goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me. Have a great weekend.